I have literally no pairs of trousers that fit me. And it is true, because after having the baby I've been losing weight really slowly, and right now I have no pair of trousers that fit me. Except, well, I saw a pair of trousers a year ago, but they don't fit me either right now. They're really loose. I have to fix them one day. So let's do some more. And I got this fabric, which I think is gorgeous. It's 100% polyester, and I love this shop because the girl has the tags with the composition and the price, so you can get your mind around the fabrics, which takes me a while. And it cost me only €8.95. We're going to be needing our block of measurements. I leave you the links in the description down below, apart from all the little links that I put in around here now. We're going to cut our pieces, taking into account that we want to pattern match the trousers. We're going to sew the 2 front pieces and the 2 back pieces right sides together along the center seam. We can then sew the trousers together and start with the facings, which are sewn right sides together on the waistline, and to finish them we can add the zip and hem them. The first time I used the skirt block, I said that I wanted to go really slowly and start adding things with time. And I want to do this with the trousers as well. There's no hurry. I haven't done trousers for a while, even though I've done the jumpsuits and I've done pockets, but I want simple trousers, so it's going to be a very simple trousers with facings and a side zip. I really like side zips. And then with time we can add different pockets, different waistbands and different types of legs. It's going to be super cool. The fabric is 1.45 m wide and I bought 2 meters. Why did I buy 2 meters? Because I want to match the pattern, the print. There's no need, you don't have to do it, but I think it looks really nice. The problem is that you always waste a little bit more of material and sometimes it's a bit difficult, but well, it doesn't matter. When matching prints, what I do is that I cut my first panel and then that one is the one that I move around the rest of the fabric to see where I can match it. Because if I do it with the block, it will be, I can't get my head around that. And one thing I always do that I couldn't do this time is that I always turn my panels when cutting to make the most of the fabric. I mean, if I cut one panel in my vertical grain line, the other one I cut it upside down. It's the same grain line, I'm respecting the grain, but I'm trying to make the most out of it. But I couldn't do it this time because my fabric has a different color, so it wouldn't have matched. You see? And now what I'm going to do is put right sides together the 2 front and the 2 back panels so I can sew on the middle bit. I have my machine ready with a needle for thin fabrics and I'm going to be sewing with black thread. And once I have my 2 fronts and my 2 backs sewn together through the middle, I'm going to be putting them right sides together so I can sew from crotch to one ankle and from crotch to the other ankle, not from ankle to ankle because the machine can twist the fabric. And after doing all this sewing, I can do the side seams and I'm going to leave open the gap for the zipper because I wanted to add it after the facings. This is how I'm doing. I tried it on, it fits, I'm really happy with it. And of course I have my zipper, my invisible zip that I will be adding after I do my facings. What are facings? Facings are these pieces of material we sew right sides together on the top of the trousers. In this case it could be a neckline or a skirt, but because I haven't got, or I don't want to add a waistline, a waistband, I'm going to add facings so it fits properly and it gives it this nice finish on the top. And I'm going to be using some interfacing so it stays in place and it doesn't wrinkle, and the trousers had a much nicer appearance. And for that I'm going to be using a bit of the scraps I have from cutting it. I don't want to get rid of them because I think it's a really nice material. It has a nice feeling to it for any lining I want to add to a handbag or a toiletry bag. I think it would be really pretty as well if it matches the design. And to do so I'm just going to trace around my trousers the measurement they have, and I'm going to give it 10 centimeters. I think you could add any centimeters you want. I'm going to give it 10 so it stays nicely in place. Facings are really stiff and the problem is that they don't keep in place. So if you want them to stay in place, you have to understitch them. So on the same seam you just have done, you're going to fold it on top of the facing and stitch it on top of there, all along there. I'm going to use a zigzag stitch because in my opinion it takes all the threads that can be around, so it's good. And then the last step, so they really stay in place, is to sew it on the other side of the zip. On this side seam of the trouser, you're going to sew it all along that seam so you don't see it right in between the two panels. To sew the zip, we need our trousers right sides out and the zip open. So then we twist the two ends and we leave the teeth on the outside so we can sew all this net, and we're going to really carefully open the zip so the needle gets right in and we don't see any of that net. To finish the bottom of the zipper, what we have to do is to join together this new seam from the zip and the one from the side, from the trousers side. So that way everything is perfectly finished. And we're going to do the same with the facing. The facing is going to be folded right sides in, so that way we can sew along the zipper, and when we turn it right sides out, it's perfectly nice. And to hem the trousers, I'm going to do a double hem, so I'm going to fold twice, but not very wide. I want it a bit narrower because the fabric is quite thin. And this is the final result. I'm quite pleased with them. I'm really happy about the pattern matching, about the zip and the facings, of course, and I really like the feel of it. I know it's a really simple design. I could have made it with pockets, with a waistband, with different leg, but I wanted to go little by little, adding things and trying the trousers block properly because I hadn't. And as I did with the skirt block, I wanted to go only step by step. So I'm really happy with them. Maybe this kind of material was asking for a wider leg because it's a quite flowy material, but well, they look nice anyways. And of course I made another two, as you have seen. This is the ones I made first. These are the first ones I made and I really like them. They have a very bold color, very 70s style. Or if you think about it, I look like the Joker's cousin or something like that. But they are quite fun. It was a piece of remnant. I think it was like €7, and of course it's polyester. But I think I didn't have any problems at all sewing them. I think they fit quite nicely and they are really fun. So now it's really good to combine, to have different outfits. And the other ones I made are these ones. And these are the last ones I made. I'm quite happy with them. I'm really happy with them because they took me a while to sew. I had so many problems sewing them. Not sewing them, but when I tried them on, they just ripped apart. And I didn't know why was that. And it is because wool, because they are made of wool, is sewn with an overlock. So we gave it a go and tried to fix my overlock, which has been in the garage like for more than a year, and I thought it wouldn't work again, but it did. So I'm really excited about that, and because I could manage to finish this, but because as well I have the overlock now. So I'm really pleased with them. They pattern match, they fit really well, and I think they are really nice. And this has been the video for today. Let me know down in the comments if you've enjoyed it, if it's been useful, or if you're planning to make yourself your own wardrobe. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot, and that way you don't miss anything because I upload a video once a week. And anyways, if you want, you can stick around and watch some other videos related to this one.